wants to catch us up from last session?
Well, 4 brave adventurers ventured out one night to an abandoned fort devoid of light. Little did they know that for the horrors are like zombie ghosts lurking, seeking a fight. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah, spirits too many, too strong to defeat. The adventurers, exhausted, began to retreat, but they knew they couldn't back from this fight before the fate of the land and people they fight. They're like, I need to polish this run once in a while, okay? Yeah, we fought zombie ghosts and a giant scorpion.
You did, but you forgot in your fantastic poetry here. You forgot a tiny detail, which was the giant scorpion that you encountered on your way back. That took out Birke. Apparently, I have to say I don't fully recall the details of that. I know that it was brutal, but I had forgotten that Birke actually got fully knocked out. Which I guess is convenient. Since that means she'll probably got hit pretty bad and is gonna have to take a breather in town for a little while. So maybe we're just gonna fast forward a little bit and give Birke some time in town to recover.
Well, it can be wise, yes.
Okay, let's do that. And then the 4 of you seem to be mostly unharmed. Is there anything you want to do in town while you're there, or should we just kind of skip right back here?
I don't think there's anything in particular. Yeah, I guess we can come back.
Okay. So then we find ourselves back inside the walls of, and I'm just gonna move you to a more central room here. Inside the wall, Gauntlight Keep.
Did we count our rest one then?
Sure, you could have rested a day or a long rest in town while you were there. Sure. You've explored a great deal of the keep. You have met and killed some of the midflits, and then sort of parlayed with the rest of them, and learned that they were recently displaced from below by mushroom-eyed creatures. But, oh right, and you've also found access to this below that they were talking of, likely, at least, access to that, since it was through a secret door, and then down the stairs into darkness, which you haven't explored further yet. There's also a door.
Just a quick note, they're mushroom-eyed people, not mushroom people.
Mushroom-eyed, I believe, is what.
Oh, okay, so I guess I misheard it. I was thinking of mushroom people.
No, I'm pretty sure that they called them mushroom-eyed. See, it's good to summarize every now and then.
Yeah.
All right, so you have that staircase into the dark that you haven't explored yet. There's also this kind of eerie chapel/cathedral-like part of the keep that you haven't fully understood what god or deity or supernatural force that was dedicated to, and it gave you the serious creeps. So maybe we'll not have to revisit that. There's also a door from the bottom of the Gauntlight itself, of the giant lighthouse, that leads to the outside that you had discovered already. And that mysterious puddle of blood at the base of the Gauntlight.
Yep.
So there's still a couple of mysteries around. And of course, no sign of that dwarf that Ottardo and Arthur have apparently come here to find. And Birke had also told you, I believe that I had gone over that with Ale, that the proprietor of the Crook's Nook, Yinyas Mera,
Yeah, she.
has recently is missing four of her employees or has been missing them for several days now. They have been had been sent out here, or they decided to come out here because they had heard of some treasure of some kind, and she hasn't heard back from them since. So there's also a little bit of a reward for you in there if you can find any signs of them, but you haven't so far.
And from
I think that was with Soma rather than with.
yeah, yes, it happened when Soma left with well to take a break, and from the dialogue we have established that the corpse that we found in the chapel was not actually one of those guys, so they are still out there.
Yes.
And I will now scroll the chat upstairs to see what their names actually were like.
Okay, and finally, there was one more thing that I wanted to say, but now I forgot. Oh right. So if you head back to town to get Birke some R&R, you have. Are you just gonna, because it's pretty early in the day still, so are you gonna come back the same evening after getting 8 hours of rest, or are you gonna stay for the whole night in town and come back the next morning?
If we come back the evening, it would be at what time roughly?
As the sun's setting, like shortly after sunset.
And yeah, by the way, this is why I had advocated for the small time module, because it actually will show us the sunset time.
Ottardo would probably feel more comfortable if he was visiting this place in full daylight.
Okay, so Ottardo is going to advocate to wait until the morning. Okay, yeah. So if nobody.
Well, I am afraid of no ghosts, but well, I guess morning is good.
Okay.
I, on the other hand, am somewhat terrified of them, so yes. Let us wait until dawn.
All right. So we'll find ourselves back here early the next morning with the whole day in front of us. Where are we going to go?
Perhaps we would do better to investigate those outbuildings before we go traipsing about up and down stairs.
I agree. I was going to mention that we haven't visited those parts yet.
All right.
Go underneath, past the blood.
Yeah, the blood puddle is still there, even though I think this is now the third day that you're visiting the keep, and it still looks fresh. It's still like you still see the occasional ripple going over it, as if there's a gentle breeze that flows over it, but there you don't feel the air move. It doesn't seem to dry or anything like that, so it's yeah, it's fairly unsettling. All right. Out here, you can see a few things. First thing you notice is the ruined boathouse. You see that the southern portion of it has collapsed into rubble, which is exposing most of the remains to the elements. There is a door, however, that's still in place. To the north, you see a wooden bridge that spans a watery gap between the larger island and the smaller one, and there's a single-story building that sits amid the thick reeds growing on the smaller island. And finally, is anybody already? Yes, yeah, you can see kind of protruding from this smaller island an old wooden pier that has partially collapsed into the swamp, and a portion of which still remains above the water, but looks ready to follow the rest at the slightest touch. And on that pier, you see some dancing lights, almost like fireflies. The light is flickering and swirling, but you don't really see any physical source for it. It's quite eerie.
Huh.
Recall those beings we encountered that were possessing the bodies of the dead wisp-like beings, although they were undead wisps? Dead
The zombie
dead
ghosts, yes.
Those things. We ought to take care.
Yes, probably good to learn from our mistakes. I agree.
Yeah, I've been living in this town for some time now, and one thing I have learned is not to follow the lights. But I will open the door. Oh look, there's no wall.
Okay,
Hey,
so
Lucca.
as you open the door, and Lucca rounds the boathouse and kind of steps over the rubble and comes in from the other side. But Souma, you notice that before you open it, that the door has been forced open recently, but then apparently somebody carefully closed it again. And it looks like that has not happened longer than a couple of weeks ago. Inside, both of you find that the shelves and boats have decayed. They're basically just heaps of rot and moss that's growing over them. But there are the remains of a relatively fresh campfire.
Strange.
I am somewhat interested in this pier, or while others would observe the campfire, I want to check if the boat is.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to be right.
And just like that, he was gone.
Well, I guess it was a very mysterious boat then.
I do have to say, I've been playing through the beginning of Outlaws of Alkenstar with some other friends.
Oh, I'm not alone then. I'm not alone then.
Oh, are you playing through it too?
Well, I'm running it, yes.
Oh, you're running it. I should say I'm running it as well. How far into it are you?
Well, we are just finished the second part of the first book.
Okay. Yeah, it took my group 3 sessions to complete the heist.
Well, seems to be fairly accurate to my situation as well.
They spent the first 2 of them that were just planning and preparing, so.
Yeah,
I like overbearing.
Yeah, I've already complained to Simon how it pitches itself like the sort of Shadowrun game, and then slowly transforms into Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh, I don't know. I always kind of got the impression it would be Saturday morning cartoony, but.
Yeah, well, my expectations were betrayed, so I'm very not satisfied at all.
Oh, that's a bummer.
All right. Okay, so Souma, you said you're peeking out towards the pier.
Yeah, I'm curious if the boat is still on float and if it is operational.
Yeah. So first of all, the wooden pier that's attached to the boathouse has collapsed. There are about 10 feet of moldy, soggy boards slumped against ancient wood pilings, but it's hardly even a pier anymore. A rowboat tied to the piling looks, however, much more recently built. From where you're standing right here, it's kind of hard to tell if it's, but it looks pretty fine. It's still floating well above the water line. It's not like it's half submerged or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to just tell anything more about it or search its insides, you would have to try to make your way over there.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's.
You do still also, you know, looking over across towards the other pier, you still see those lights dancing.
Um, do we have an idea of how that southern wall crumbled? Does it look like it's been torn apart, or was it just disrepair?
Do you have any skill check that you think might be helpful here? Engineering.
I'm mainly curious that if the wall was crumbled, then why break the door?
I have crafting.
Yeah, sure. And if you're wondering about that, then Ottardo is also gonna try to help with that, thinking about it. But you both agree, like a boathouse sitting out here, exposed to the elements in a swamp without regular maintenance, that was kind of bound to happen since the ground is somewhat, you know, damp and shifty, and it probably never got the same kinds of foundations that the main keep has. So you'd think it's probably just through negligence.
Is there anything unusual about this campfire?
Well, only the fact that it's fairly recent, so it can't have been more than a couple of days since it was last used.
Does it seem like it could have been used like in the time since we started coming here? Like someone has been here since we first arrived, or does it seem like it's older than that?
You would think it's older than that, but not by much. So
Yeah,
then overlap. It's hard to tell. You know, it's not warm anymore, but it's still not that long ago. So maybe there was some overlap. It's been a few days too. So
Yeah,
Perhaps it is.
yeah, it's probably the people from Crooksnook actually camped here before going deeper.
Ah,
good theory. Souma definitely describes the observed facts.
Yeah. Hmm.
Does anybody have an idea what this is? He says Arthur as he like squints and points towards the lights on the pier.
Well, those are the swamp lights. They lure the people into the depths, and they never come back. It's everybody knows that.
Lucca will kind of lean around and peer out at them. Is there any sort of knowledge check you could make about it?
Sure. Well, about occultism, or if you have any lore that might help.
Probably not. He's not trained in occultism, but I guess he'll make a roll.
All right.
Hmm.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. So, the Souma just kind of tells that like a folktale, like a rural legend. But yeah, you've heard of actual creatures exactly like that. That just linger in the swamp, waiting to lead travelers astray. Some of them speak out in voices familiar to the wanderers. Some of them try to create hypnotic patterns to make them do their bidding, and all of them are horrifying.
Indeed, indeed. Just as Suma says, and note how it lingers on the pier where it can conveniently lure the foolish directly into the swamp water.
So we'll leave that for later then, I assume.
Well, hopefully we'll leave this for never. And following the lights in a swamp, it's a very bad idea.
Agreed. Making your way north. Yeah, so towards the island, like I said, the bridge spans the gap here. It seems to be like compared to the piers and the drawbridge near the entrance of the keep. The bridge looks to be in much better condition.
Ottardo is still going to say maybe just one at a time this time?
The heaviest or the lightest to go first?
Let's make a compromise, and I'll go first.
All right. So you move along. The boards creak under your weight, and the bridge slowly bends a little bit, but it lasts. It holds. You're okay.
All right. Seems to be all right.
And so one after another, you all make your way over, with the bridge staying intact. Yeah, like I said, this outbuilding here, it's solidly made. It's not like a shed or anything. It is a proper brick building, just like, or proper stone building, just like the main keep. Albeit it's fairly evident that the walls aren't quite as thick, but it's solidly made. The front door that you're standing in front of, Ottardo, are you can tell that they are like they're made from wood with metal bracings, and you can tell that the wood has swollen. There's not even a gap between the two wings of the door anymore, and you can tell that they're probably thoroughly stuck, even if they're not locked.
Okay.
Somebody's
I guess Ottardo is going to try the door. Though he expects it to have quite the resistance.
all right. Why don't you try this check? I didn't see the result. Did it say a success? Okay, yeah. So you get by leaning your full weight into it, you manage to get the doors unstuck and push one of the wings open, and you look inside. Okay, give me a second here. Switch a few things around. All right. So the door opens, and you behold a study, essentially. There are several bookshelves. There's a desk. There are two chairs. But the books and all the objects in this room are just in disarray. There are torn pages that are strewn haphazardly across the room. Some bits and pieces of like smashed pieces of furniture and similar things. It's quite the mess. But leaning into the room, you see that there are several doors that lead out of it. No windows, though.
Well, books, that's interesting. Ottardo is going to step into the room.
Interesting indeed. What an understatement. And Lucca will step in and begin peering at the tomes on the floor. Maybe pick up a couple, see what their titles are.
All right. As Ottardo turns and takes in the room, and Lucca reaches down and picks up one of the book and brushes some dust off of it. You all of a sudden look up as the reflections of a rather bright light that all of a sudden appears below the ceiling, and once again it starts dancing, swaying back and forth. The shadows of the light dance through the room, and you hear this booming voice that says, "Who disturbs spooky wisp? This is my realm, and you transgress into my reality. Why you do that?"
Oh, brother,
Who speaks to us?
Me, spooky wisp.
Where are you, Mister?
Me, right here, under the ceiling. Look at me, dangerous ghost, spooky wisp.
And if Ottardo looks up,
You look up and you see just those dancing lights. The voice does appear to have come from that, light apparition up there. Declare yourself, or I shall zap you.
we're just friendly travelers passing through, looking for a long-lost citizen.
Okay. Spooky Wisp does not care about your citizens. Spooky Wisp only cares about the shiny. Are you looking for the shiny?
I do not know what the shiny is.
Oh, the shiny. Oh,
Yeah.
the shiny. The shiny. Oh. And it starts trailing off.
I think at this point, someone will try to peek in, and she will, like, someone name your price, spirit. How many shinies will cost us your help? For
There are not enough shinies in the world to replace the shiny. Oh, and it's right there, it's so close. But alas, Spooky Wisp's powers not almighty. Say,
great and terrifying incorporeal spirit. Perhaps you would care to elaborate further on the nature of this shiny and why it is that you so desperately seek to possess it.
Oh, you would know. You'll know when you see it. You'll know. Oh, it's right over there, and the light just kind of floats over towards the doors, just down the hallway, around the corner. But beware, there's this mean, big-faced doll that's trying to stop me from getting the shiny. Maybe you could get the shiny for me.
Did he say a doll?
Yes, he did say a doll.
That is what it said.
Oh dear. I
Hmm.
don't like dolls. They're creepy.
Well, they are.
Sure. But I must have the shiny.
Shall we make this a promise then, spirit?
Yes. Will you spare us from your wrath and horror if we procure for you this shiny?
Someone will push Lucca in the ribs for a moment and say, "We secure cooperation, not be spared."
Spooky Wisp shall be most merciful to those who obey its will. Right this way.
Oh, well.
And the lights kind of circle the doors to the west.
Mhm.
Can you describe to us the shiny?
You hear an exasperated sigh. And then it says, "It's a sparkling, glowing tube. Just kind of, you'll see it. When you see it, you'll know what I mean. And I want it.
Tube?
Tube.
It's a
Yeah,
tube.
yes, glowing tube.
Tube. Very well. Great spirit. Let us go then and seek your shiny on your behalf. Can't move.
Yes. And then the light fades out and it disappears.
As it fades away, Lucca mumbles to Souma, saying, can't stand incorporeals. I always think they're better than the rest of us. Just because they don't have any bodies, things attached to them. They just order everyone around and appear wherever they wish to. Go
Yeah,
freezing right through walls, no respect for privacy.
Yeah, and someone like will also make like huge eyes at Lucas saying, "Well, now he thinks that he's better than us." Of course, like when you all like spill gas before him, like saying, "Yes, please step there." Something. No, you need to just. He wants something from us, so we need to take something from him.
Before we move forward, Ottardo would like to give a quick scan of the room.
Okay. Give me a perception. 12. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's in pretty bad disarray. So you would have to properly search it if you were to hope to find something helpful. It's just an utter mess, cluttered.
Okay, but generally it's just like lots of books scattered
Yeah,
around.
lots of books, the remains of some furniture. There might be the odd candlestick holder around, bent and broken equipment like that. The trappings of a study, basically. Nothing out of the ordinary, really.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Ottardo is just going to pull out his shield and prepare his morning star before we go forward.
All right.
Yeah, Lucca will. Yeah, I don't know. He has nothing to prepare. He'll reluctantly pull out that wand in one hand. You see, he's got like the handle of it wrapped in a piece of cloth, so he doesn't have to touch it directly. Even though he's also wearing gloves.
And Ottardo is going to give a look to his companions as if to ask, shall we?
Someone will just look at him and know.
Please go ahead, as Arthur. And you open the doors and find a hallway, just like the voice of Spooky Wisp had told you. But it's not just an empty hallway. There are 4 paintings that hang on the northwestern wall, although layers of mold and decay have severely damaged them.
What do they represent?
Well, like I said, they have been severely damaged. They all have sustained probably irrevocable damage over time. There's still moisture and water dripping down from leaks in the roof. But you can still make out some of the painting's features. The first painting is an enormous, nearly 7 feet tall work of quote-unquote art. It's also almost as wide, and it's a landscape painting that depicts clearly the city of Absalom, but the city is burning. And not just that the city is in flames. From those flames, from the streets themselves, between the burning buildings, there are ghosts rising. The lower frame has a bronze plaque that reads, "So shall the fools suffer."
Wow.
Mm-hmm. The second painting is nearly as large as the Absalom one, and it's kind of in the same style, but the subject matter is different. This painting depicts Gauntlight Keep, most likely as it appeared before the upper floors collapsed. The lighthouse rises above the stately keep into the night sky, and its beacon is emitting a pale blue light. And in that light, you can see ghostly faces sneer and grimace. And as you dust off the bronze plaque at the bottom of the frame, you can read, "Let the light shine forever." The third picture is completely shredded. Like the frame is still mostly intact, although it has a bunch of scratch marks and damage. But the actual canvas is just thoroughly shredded, and that on top of the mold makes it entirely impossible to tell what it once was depicting. But the plaque is still there, and it says, "The artist at work." And finally, there's the fourth portrait, which is smaller, much smaller, and circular. And it depicts a smirking woman, dressed in a red gown with a high collar, an image of a potent aristocrat or something like that.
Mhm.
And the plaque reads, "The Lady of the Light." And then in the stone next to the painting, you see some scratches that somebody must have put there, and they are forming letters, and in a language that I believe, well, Arthur definitely speaks it, so he'll read that out loud, and he'll say, "I serve you still. You shall be avenged." Well, that's promising, he adds.
What is that written in?
"'Tis called Aklo. I wouldn't expect you to know that language. It's rather obscure. It's spoken in the dark lands deep below the surface level of this world. Our midfield friend might speak it."
Mhm.
But,
Isn't that what he was speaking with them?
Oh yeah, it was.
But here it is inscribed on a plaque beneath a painting. How unusual.
And I somehow doubt that this was the Midflit's work. The penmanship is not as terrible as them, and look how high up it is.
Mhm.
I'm not entirely certain whether you are joking.
No, he's not.
Sorry. Does that first painting appear to be depicting a historical event in Absalom, or is it a work of fantasy?
History?
I can try that.
Something like that? Is there history skill?
I don't think history is a thing anymore.
Oh, how is it?
Society?
Oh, society. Yeah, that's a good idea. Or if you have more resulting to.
Probably not.
I don't actually have any of those.
Mhm. Well, Lucca, you would think that an event like this, which is almost apocalyptic in scale, would be well known, and you've never heard of anything like that. A lot of it has happened to Absalom in its storied past, but nothing that would compare to this.
I believe
And
too.
what was the plaque underneath it called?
So shall the fools suffer.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I believe technically an apocalyptic event did happen like just a couple of years ago, but it wasn't probably look nothing like that.
What are you referring to?
Well, to the return of the Whispering King, Whispering Tyrant.
Oh, yeah, but yeah.
I was very surprised to learn that Pathfinder 2 was only 8 years removed from the Pathfinder 1.
And I don't suppose that image of the woman rings any bells for any reason? No familiar historical figure or anything?
That would be another society check.
Um,
15. Well, you have never seen her depicted, but given also the plaque that says the Lady of the Light, and the fact that it is rumored that this keep was once the home of a powerful sorceress named Belcora Carolex, you would think it likely that it depicts her.
I
Oh,
think
shit.
I read something about this somewhere, or perhaps Birke shared a tome with me.
Oh, I forgot. I have actually the Rose Guard Lord. Someone should absolutely know who that is.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, if you've hung out with Birke, the chances are high that she's been gushing over the Rose Guard and how they defeated the evil sorceress. And Souma, yeah, of course, you also remember the story how the Rose Guard slew Belcora and brought peace to this land just before they founded Ottardo.
It is what you call a foundational myth of this town, so it's very hard to miss when you do this research.
True. And I mean, the streets in Otari are named after members of the Rose Guard. That the story, their greatest in the eyes of the Otari's people, that's their greatest achievement is to do that they beat the evil sorceress before her evil plans could come to fruition.
Well, yeah. Anyway, before we move on, Sir Ottardo, if you allow me, someone will briefly take his mace. He uses a mace, right now.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you well.
Yeah, Soma will say like, Sir Ottardo, if you allow me, and your mace, please, for a moment. We probably should prepare ourselves to make this very decisive. Then she will pull out a pouch with magical components, and I will cast a spell on it. I will make it a magic weapon.
Okay.
On your rapier?
On your mace.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, thank you. And I guess once that happens, Ottardo will reach for the door.
Okay. You want to pull that effect on your token so that
Yes.
you do its magic. The door.
And it even asks me to select a weapon to apply it on.
That's really cool. On the Morning Star. All right. You open the door, and beyond find an octagonal chamber, which must have once been an elegant workshop, but it has fallen into shambles. There are soggy strings of dripping moss hanging through cracks in the wooden domed roof above. Below it, a carpet of broken glass glitters dangerously. it's essentially covering the entire floor in this room. There's just broken glass everywhere, a thick layer of it. It would be like the floor looks very treacherous. Workbenches and shelves, armatures and displays, all formerly used in crafting or repairing immense lenses for the lighthouse, lie in ruins. But there is a bejeweled spyglass sitting on a display rack near the southern wall that somehow has survived the devastation.
The shiny, I presume.
Looks like it.
Stands to reason. All right, Ottardo, move in. Like I said, the layer of broken glass and other shattered materials is really thick and makes the ground uneven. So I'm gonna have to ask you for an acrobatics check to balance across it as you move through the room.
Yeah, wait a second, Ottardo.
Yep, that's that bad.
Okay.
Maybe I have a solution for this.
Okay, I think maybe I still have to roll just for that first step into the room.
I'll let, we can say like you test it out, you like lean forward and you're like, whoa, this is actually really uneven, unstable. So you lean back and you move out the room again. I'm okay with that.
And Souma will once again, like, she will put out her conjured loot, and I will, let's see. It seems I am just within the reach of my magic hand. I want to try to grab the spyglass with mage hand.
What do we have here? So you create a single magic in hand. I think the Lucca's like to grasp the target object, move it slowly up to 20 feet. Move in any direction. When you sustain the spell, you can move the object in additional.
Oh shit! Wait, it's concentrate. I think and I'm concentrating on the magic weapon.
I don't think magic weapon takes concentration.
It says it right there.
It has the concentrate.
Oh,
It has the
right.
concentrate
Oh.
trait.
No. No, wait. Concentrate in Pathfinder 2 is different. It just means that it's just a tag to say that when you're raging, you can do this.
Right. It would be sustained that you have to take an action.
It's old habits.
So you're okay. All right. So you do your magic incantation, humming a melody and making the gestures that you need. And everyone peering into the room, you see the spyglass lift up, and then Souma concentrates some more, sustains the spell, and starts moving it toward the door. But then, out of thin air, it almost seems, from somewhere behind one of the toppled tables, a tiny creature emerges. It looks like a doll with leathery wings of some kind, a wooden head with a beak, and a kind of disturbing looking eye that's been painted on it. And it comes shooting out from behind one of the tables and darts towards the spyglass and grabs it with its feet, just kind of like holding onto it by pinching it with its tiny little feet. And that's enough force to make the spell fail to continue to lift the spyglass, and then we can give it to initiative, I guess. Alright, so you got it out of hiding, so we're just gonna say that everyone's using their regular initiative. Okay, so let me put everyone into combat mode, and you can roll your initiative. Okay, begin. All right, the creature kind of appeared kind of unexpectedly, I guess, for you. So it won the initiative here, and it's going to use its action to carry the spyglass back to the display shelf here. It's like under the weight of the spyglass. It's so small that it's kind of awkwardly flying, holding onto the weight, and then it gently lowers it down onto the display. Souma.
Alright, I think I will target Ottardo once again, and I will do Breathing Ward on him from this creature.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. What are you doing?
I'm doing the Forbidding Ward on him.
Okay.
And that takes 2 actions, and I think for the third... Ah, right, of course, I Inspire Courage.
Alright, that's your turn. Ottardo.
Well, I guess we want that thing, and I guess he'll try to step into it. I guess it's also difficult terrain, right?
The entire room is essentially difficult terrain because of all the...
So he'll only be able to potentially move this far, but he'll also need to do this check, which he is very bad at. Yep.
You fail. And regular failure in this case, which means you waste the action essentially.
Okay, so he did not move, he stayed in place. He can try again, maybe? Fail? Does he see any other way of moving? Can he
crawl through it?
would stepping work? Or no, you can't step into difficult terrain, right?
I would let you by like moving super slowly. I would give you a bonus on that acrobatics check.
Okay, we'll try to step inside.
I think this is almost essentially stepping.
Yeah.
So that means you fall prone, and because this is all glass shards on the floor, you actually take 1 point of piercing damage as you fall prone. And I believe that ate up your last action.
Yep.
Lucca. Ottardo falls, slipping on the treacherous shards.
Lucca is going to shake his head a little bit, and he says, No, Ottardo, you should try not to step on the glass. Step on the parts that are not glass. As he casts Guidance on Ottardo, which will give him a +1 to his skill check. Does not stack with everything else that that the Inspire Courage gives a +1 to, but it does include skill checks. So his next one will at least get a +1. And then I guess he's going to step up here a little bit to get a slightly better view, so he's not behind Souma. And he's going to say, what is that thing precisely? And he's going to try to identify it somehow.
Okay. Crafting? Or some kind of lore?
I don't think his lore is relevant to this.
Okay.
So.
Arcana?
Arcana? Yeah, I'll take Arcana. Yeah, I'll do Arcana if that's okay.
Sure. You would say that it does remind you of some sort of arcane construct-like creation. Just the fact that it's like you can see the wooden joints and It's general, like, you know, it looks like a crafting project. But you don't know what it is for sure.
Believe it or not, that is not a real bird.
You don't say.
I would have never believed this.
Do not let its beak and wings fool you. That's his turn.
Well, I'm really great you're here, says Ottardo sarcastically as he loads his crossbow, kind of like, you know, pokes it through between Lucca and Souma, and says, before pulling the trigger, he looks to everyone and he says, I guess we're doing this?
Well, I mean, technically it didn't do anything to us yet, but compassion is overrated. Just shoot it.
Fine by me, he says. And he...
Don't forget the inspire courage.
Oh, right, I did forget that. Alright, so he takes aim and he strikes. Ooh! Double checking again. Yep, that's a crit. 8 points of damage to that little thing. And it gets hit, the crossbow bolt drills into the wood of this creation, and it just goes clunk. And the creature doesn't really respond to it other than taking the kinetic force and kind of stumbling a little bit before fluttering back up. And then Ottardo shrugs and loads another bolt. And then it's the creature's turn, and it got hit in the back by Ottardo's bolt. It turns around, and it says in a warbling voice, so I guess this means that Master Azrene is not coming back. And then it starts flapping its wings and comes diving in a frustrated attack. And let's see. So it has a speed of 20, and it can move 1, 2, 3, 4. So it makes it across here with 1 move action. It is tiny in size, so I believe it has to move into your square to attack. So it has to take the second move action to be able to do that. And then it uses its wings and its feet. It's just kind of like trying to hit you, to kick you, trying anything it can to hurt you. Oh, sorry about that. Is that right? I guess so. And so it had 2 move actions, and now it's going to strike for the first time after targeting Ottardo. And strike. 16 hits by +1. And does 7 points of damage. And then it's Souma's turn.
Well, I guess it's time for us to just go back to our old tricks. I will continue inspiring courage for 1 action, and for my other action, one of the shards of glass will start. What was I lost the word. Well, it will leap into the air and try to slice the bird somehow, and I can't target it. I can, like this one from the combat tracker. So it will be telekinetic projectile slashing at this bird. construct.
Okay. And it's a critical miss.
Lucca ducks as it flies over his head.
Yeah. And that's it.
Okay, so then Ottardo.
Ottardo is going to stand up.
All right.
Does he need to roll for that?
No, I'll say that that's okay. Just if you want to move, you're gonna have to do the acrobatics.
Okay. So he spends one action to stand up. Can he target the creature in his square?
Yep. I believe there's no reason why you can't.
So he is going to target it and try to swing at it with the extra enchanted Morningstar and miss. And with his last action, he is going to raise his shield.
All right. And Lucca.
He sees the thing pestering Ottardo as he's trying to stand up, and he says, "Should I set it on fire? I'm going to set it on fire."
Yes, please.
You see little sparkling embers start to illuminate the air around him as he produces flame. I don't know if I can target it well. It's underneath of Ottardo for me.
You can use Z to bring it to the top.
Yeah, and there is a combat tracker.
Right. There we go. Targeted, locked in, fires.
And I don't know if you also have that, but on the combat tracker, I have a button to target any of the...
Yeah, I found it also. It should work for us as well.
Right. Toggle targeting. Yeah. I missed.
And it shoots
he's going to, well, guidance isn't going to help anyone else right now, so he's just going to use his third action to... Can he take cover in any way here?
where are you?
Right behind...
Right there. There's really no cover here.
You can close the door.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not gonna close the door on
That's his problem.
He'll try to demoralize the thing. And he's like, yes, whoever that is, they're never going to come back, and you'll be alone here forever until you're set on fire or smashed or something. What an awful fate for you.
All right. Let's see that check.
I don't even know if a construct can be intimidated, but he's gonna try it. It seems to have a consciousness, so.
You intimidated. You actually. I mean, it's quite an intimidating thing to say. But the thing just doesn't seem to respond. It just acts like a doll, really. Even though it has shown these glimpses of consciousness, but seems to be completely immune to your mental attack.
It shows no fear. He says this. He turns to Arthur and tells him this.
And it says, yes, I think if I was a doll made of wood, the only thing I would be afraid of in this place was mold. And then he shoots at the thing again. There's no point in really trying to devise a stratagem, I think. Just gonna try to shoot it. Misses, reloads, and shoots again. And misses. So now he has an empty crossbow in his hands. And then it's the thing's turn. The thing flutters back from Ottardo a little bit. And flaps its wing, and its warbling noise, it calls out once again and says, I shall still serve you, master! I will slay the intruders! And then it sends a spell Ottardo's way. So target Ottardo I cast this spell. I will need a safe DC 20. Oh, no, I don't know if you can see the DC, but it is a DC 20. There's a button for you.
The one that says will saving throw?
Yes.
Okay.
So I guess you see different things than I do. That's cool. Oh, crit fail! So you take damage, first of all, which is... Let's see if it does that correctly. Oof, that's a lot to parse here. So you take 2d4 mental damage, crit fail, but the target is taken heightened, damage increased by 2d4. It's not, it wasn't heightened. Why is it doing all of these? Failure target takes full initial and persistent damage. Oh, it's not doing the damage right. That's just wrong the way it calculates that. It thinks because it's a crit fail that it should be double damage, but that's not how that works. So you take first of all, you feel an enormous pain shooting through your body, which immediately does 4 points of mental damage, and then we're gonna do 1d4 persistent damage whenever. That's weird. It's not actually rolling that. Sorry. Okay. So you take it at the end of each of your turns. So we're just gonna make a note of the fact that you have this persistent mental damage. Oh right, I put it on your. Put it on your token. So this is 1d4 persistent mental damage, and then because it's persistent, you get a DC 15 flat check afterwards. So I'm saving this, and this should now be listed. Okay. So that's because you failed, but you're also sickened too because of the crit fail. And I don't think there's any doubling of the damage involved because it's not a basic save, will save. It's just the specific will save here. Oh, I see. Oh, wow. Sorry. I'll take that back. That was correct. It's heightened +2. That's why you got these additional damage rolls here. So I'm gonna bring back 4d4 of immediate damage. So you take 8 more points of mental damage, and then
8 on top of the
ones you already had.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna increase the persistence damage.
Ottardo is down.
All right. Well, but you're not out of the weeds yet. Wait, why is it not letting me do that? Okay. Sorry, this is taking forever, but I'm figuring this out as we go along. So this is adding 1d4 persistent, but I don't want that. I want to...
Is this really a level 3 spell?
It's a heightened... It's heightened to level 3. Yeah, I believe it's a level 1 spell that's been heightened to level 3.
As would be cast by a level 5 creature.
That's what it has. Yep.
Okay.
So we have 1d4, and then you get 2 additional, so it's 3d4 of mental that you would take. And I'm gonna double check because you're calling that out. But I'm not quite sure that it's correct on the...
I mean, how would the persistent mental damage work if he's unconscious?
We'll figure that out when the time comes.
Yeah. He be dying 2 or just dying 1?
Well, since he crit failed, the effect that made him go to dying, it goes up by 1.
I think
I
it's only if something crit hits you or if you crit fail while you're dying, the dying condition increases.
Yeah, I think it should be that fast.
Okay.
I might be wrong.
Hold on here. Hold on. That's not
rules dying.
Why did they put phantom pain in there? That's definitely not its spell. Sorry that we're grinding this to a halt, but I do want to avoid doing really bad damage and then having to backpedal because there's a mistake in the book.
Oh no, he's right. Sam's right. He's 100% right.
Is
The
there
effect that knocked you out was a critical success from the attacker or the result of your critical failure. You gain a dying 2 condition instead.
Oh well. Well, that's not good.
Yep, nope, that's right. That's the right spell. It's specifically been outfitted with that spell. It's just doing its job. That's what it's doing. Alright, so that was its turn, and then it is Soma's turn.
Well, Souma actually has the Phantom Pain spell in her repertoire, so she knows what it does, and she immediately tried to poke Sir Ottardo, saying, "So, like, Sir Ottardo, don't pay attention to this. It's all in your head. Just wake up. Don't worry." And I will just use Tooth on him, not in order for him to not die.
Nice.
Okay. So, what? Heal for that amount of damage.
Also, I believe we should have hero points, and I think it will be time and place to use them now.
Well, he's no longer dying. He would have used his to not go away.
Okay, so you're no longer dying. Right, that was 2 actions for Souma.
Yes.
Third.
It will be Inspire Courage, of course.
Okay. Grabbing the effect. And then it's Lucca.
Shoot, I forgot. Fire Courage back. Damn, it would have been a 19 to hit. I feel like that might have hit. Oh well. Yeesh. So he's no longer unconscious. He's conscious. He's got the soothe that hopefully will help him with his recovery check against the persistent damage. Oh man. He's yikes. I want to shoot this thing, but I'm very concerned about it. Okay. Yeah, I think I've got a different idea here. Unfortunately, this is going to be his whole turn, so he's going to be pretty useless this turn. But he says, "I think it's high time for distraction," and he is going to start waving his hands and kind of forming them around some unseen shape in the air. And as he does so, you begin to see these embers that were starting to wisp around him kind of collect and congregate and amass themselves where he's swirling his hands. And suddenly there is a eagle that appears there. However, it's not an ordinary eagle. The eagle seems to have fire in its eyes, and smoke is trailing off of its wings as it flaps. And you swear you can see little tiny nubs of horns poking off the back of its head as it forms. And that is a 3-action spell, so he is done.
Badass. So, do I have to pull that onto the...
I don't. Yeah, I do not have permission to create a new token, so I think if you drag it out, and unfortunately it has no mark. So.
Well, it clearly is evil.
But he can summon it anywhere within 30 feet, so I guess he's gonna stick it like
I
Right
probably,
about. I can't move it.
yeah, I'm gonna give you permission for that. Let me give me a second. Token owner link actor data. How do I make this possible for you to move it? I guess I can't.
You have to do it from the
Yeah.
the driver side.
So I'm gonna give Runchy Crab owner privileges on the equal.
So I think he's gonna summon it basically right on top of the telescope.
Oh, okay. Okay. I see what you did there. That was all 3 actions, and then it's Artur, and he says, "Clever," as he loads another crossbow bolt into his crossbow and shoots. No ammunition is assigned. Oh, I'm out of ammunition. I guess it's fair to say that he would have thought to buy bolts in town because he is not busy preparing the encounters.
Will Arthur shoot straight up or do stratagem?
I can have him do a stratagem. Yeah. See, so right, because that still gives extra damage, right? Hey, so why?
Yeah.
No.
Plus, he doesn't waste a bolt if he would.
I have no bolts here. Why do those bolts? Bolts are ammunition used by crossbows, so they're right here. Oh, do I have to? Consumables, okay. Now. Okay, so devising a stratagem now. So I will pretend like I'm doing an attack. And I know that I'm gonna miss. So I guess I am. So I guess I'm not gonna hit then. That was 1 action. No, I have loaded. That was my 2nd action. So my there's not really anything I can do. So the last thing he's gonna do is he's gonna put his crossbow again. Like, seeing that he doesn't have a clear path to success with that bird, he just puts his crossbow or drops his crossbow, and gets out his what is it called? Healer's tools. So that he can help Ottardo if he has to. And then it's Ottardo's turn.
Ottardo is going to start by standing up because lying prone is dangerous.
When Ottardo going to move forward, I want to try to do the reaction aid check for him to for those acrobatics checks.
Okay. But before moving forward, he is going to spend his 1 focus point and cast Lay on Hands on himself.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't have gotten a +1 there, but and with his last action, I think he wants to retch to try to get rid of his sickness.
Okay,
He's
that'll
sick.
be a 42 take.
Okay.
That's a fail.
Yep.
And then I think if you end your turn, you'll get the persistent damage and get a chance to roll the check.
Is it in what order? Damage and then
Damage
check?
first.
Yeah, damage first.
Does it happen automatically? Oh, there's a button to roll.
Try ending your turn.
Is there a button for ending turn?
Yeah, in the encounter tracker it says end turn or something.
Kind of vanished for some reason.
I don't. Oh, at the bottom. Okay, I see it.
Oh, so there's the damage that you can apply now,
Okay.
and then you can roll the recovery check.
Okay.
Should-
Oof.
I was gonna say, should we get the +2 from the soothe to that because it's on mental effects, but it doesn't.
Yes, you should.
I think you should, yes, but it doesn't make the difference in this case. But it's good to keep track of that. All right, then it's the doll's turn, and it sees the fiery, sort of fiendish eagle appear, and sees that it darts towards the shiny, and it says, "No, it's one of the master's favorites. You won't get it." And it just whoop, flutters over there, and starts attacking the eagle. So how do we do that? Target. Get back to this thing. Look at its sheet and do a strike once. Hits for 8 points of damage, and then
And the
it's
eagle goes poof.
oh wow, okay. Then it already did its fly action, so it's not at risk of dropping, and it's just gonna turn around and it's gonna flap its wings menacingly and hovering protectively in front of the spyglass. And then it's Soma's turn.
Well, I think we will have to resort to a stalling technique. So, on one thing, I will use Inspire Courage, and while this guy is not grabbing the thing, I will cast another Mage Hand and will grab it instead. So I will lift the spyglass in order to distract it.
So yeah, but casting the spell is 2 actions.
Yes.
And which means as you cast it, you can move it up.
Well, yeah, I will. That will be enough for now.
Okay. That's your turn?
Yeah. Yes.
Alright. Lucca.
So where's the spyglass at?
Well,
It's still hovering over the display table, but it's still down there.
Okay. Since Suma's distracting with that, he's gonna try a produce flame. Maybe if he remembers to inspire himself this time, we'll get lucky.
Jesus Christ, what's happened to Ottardo? I think he's...
I didn't realize that clicking on the conditions increased or decreased the value of the condition.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, he's sickened too.
He's getting sicker and sicker.
Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe.
Attack! It's a hit! Look at that.
How about a little fire?
Let's
6
see a little
points.
fire. And it singes, burns, it gets shards, some of the fabrics catch on fire, but it doesn't. It's not like it's just erupting into flames. It just takes regular damage from this.
Oh, that's disappointing. Third action. He is going to. This is only on himself, right? Yeah. It's not gonna help much. He's gonna look at the situation with Ottardo, and he's going to say, perhaps we should consider pulling back, attempting another approach. And he's just gonna use his third action to step back a little bit and make some room.
Okay, since he stepped back, that gives Artur a gap to go into it, and with his tools in hand, he reaches out towards Ottardo and uses battle medicine on him. So you can patch up yourself or an adjacent ally in combat. Attempt a medicine check with the same DC as for treat wounds. So let's do that. I think I have a macro for that here. Treat wounds. Roll. Fails.
Oh.
Damn.
Does
Does
failure renders him immune to battle medicine?
Oh no, wait. I think you rolled my medicine skill.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, you should absolutely take a completely new roll.
There we are. Yeah, I mean, it was his skill, right? So. Okay, so that's a regular success, so it heals 11 points of damage from you, but you are now immune from metal medicine for a little while.
Yeah, I'm just going to check what it does exactly.
It says restore the corresponding amount of hit points. It does not remove the wounded condition.
Okay.
If that's what you were wondering.
Yeah. So it's just hit points. Okay. Well, that's still pretty good.
All right, that's your turn.
Oh, it's your turn.
Did you shut the door on him?
Oh, yes, I did.
Uh,
I'll heal him up and then, go get him, Tiger.
All right, my turn moved. Okay, yes. Well, first he's going to reach down for his shield because he's feeling quite vulnerable. So one action to like retrieve it from the ground and put it back on.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, he's feeling really bad and weak. He's going to try to retch again and hope to get rid of this thing.
Yeah.
Yes, that is. Oh, wait a second.
He's sickened one now. I believe.
Yeah. Well, no, it would have been a 20. He needed a DC 20, but does the. Don't you have like this courage still on? Shouldn't that also apply to saves? Does it work that way? Or is it just?
Oh yeah.
No, saves against fear effects, but it's not a fear effect. Or let me see if it is, because it might.
He's not still affected by soothe, is he?
What you should be is the soothe works for 1 minute.
I've put soothe on. Well, it should be against mental effects. I don't know if this is a mental.
Oh yeah, I'll count it as a mental effect. Yeah, sure.
All right.
Okay, it sources the phantom pain, and that has the mental trait. So I'd say it's a mental effect, even though it affects you physically.
Okay, so down to second one.
All right.
Which is pretty good.
So that's action number 2. The third one.
Well, I guess.
Keep watching. You can do it, Ottardo.
So heroic. I guess since he's feeling a little bit better, he'll be encouraged to reach for his weapon that he dropped when he went unconscious.
The image of Ottardo just like picking up his shield, picking up his sword, and everybody's like,
You're gonna keep taking the mental damage until you get rid of that second guy.
Yeah.
It's like he has the worst hangover ever.
Ooh.
Yep, that's another fail. So you take those 7 points.
Oh no.
And then it's the doll's turn again. And it just is just relentless. It comes flying towards you 5, 10, 15, 20. Using 2 of its actions, it flies right on top of you, and then it will try to hit you with its teeny little wings. But it misses. And then it's Souma's turn.
Okay. I believe sustaining the mage hand would be in action, so well, I will try to move the spyglass, and then it is gonna be another inspire courage.
Okay, so one thing at a time. So first you do the sustain action to move the object, which moves it 20 feet. So that's basically right in front of you, but not quite in your I guess you can use an action to then snatch it out of that 5 feet range. And then the third action would be.
No. I'm not going to snatch it yet. It will, because that will only make me the target of this bird. So I will move it somewhere in this area.
Okay, so it's just hovering over there.
Yes.
And then, can you sustain multiple spells at the same time as long as you have the actions for it? Okay. Okay, cool. Alright, and then you sustain the Inspire Courage. What's your third action?
I have no fucking idea.
You could aid, maybe.
Yeah. Well,
Is that worth
aid is always a reaction, it seems.
Right, but I think you need to get ready for that. You must first prepare to help by using an action.
But already an action is 2 actions.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, that's just horrible.
Mm-hmm. So,
just as a quick note, Inspire isn't really sustained. It's
yes, it is. It's only
right?
once. Once I can do. I can bon mot this thing, I think.
So as a mental action, you launch an insightful well, that has the mental trait, so it's going to be ineffective.
Well, I'll still do it, just to be insulting.
Yep. All right. So you try to use your witty insight, but
Yeah.
it doesn't help.
Yeah,
Okay.
your master is dead and your beak is stupid.
Lucca.
And on top of everything else, you're on fire! Shoots more fire at it.
Is it? Let's see.
Apparently not.
That
Injured. I'm debating a hero point. What did I roll? I didn't roll that great. Yeah, I'll use a hero point.
Mm-hmm. By the way, my players kept reminding me back in Alcastar that in Pathfinder 2, hero points regenerate once per hour, so now we should have 2 hero points.
Well, they don't.
No,
I
you
think
start
more like the
one.
DM. The GM is supposed to give them out roughly once an hour.
Yeah, and you start the session with one, and the
Okay.
GM is encouraged to do 1 per hour. But there's no what's you call it? Like no entitlement to a hero point per hour.
I will tell them this later.
Yeah, tell them to come off it.
Yeah.
Third action. I really wish I had a nifty little 1-action spell here. But I don't, so. That's it. I guess last action is, since everything is getting closer to here, he's going to back up a little bit more.
Okay. Then it's Arthur's turn, and he draws his short sword. That's 1 action. And then I guess he can devise the strategy before he even uses his short sword. Before he even draws his short sword. So, he's targeting himself. That's not going to help. But a 14 is also not going to hit the thing. So he knows that it's not going to do anything, which means he can probably just pick up his crossbow. Whoop. And sheath it. Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't really have anything helpful. These are battle medicine is already used on Ottardo. So I think, yep, he's also going to take a step back. There was probably 3 actions in there somehow. Then it's Ottardo.
Ottardo, it says that for persistent damage, you can take an activity requiring 2 actions to improve the odds of succeeding at the recovery check.
Okay.
By doing something that would reasonably improve your chances. I'd say Ottardo is going to just close his eyes, hold his shield and Morning Star close, and try to focus on the on overcoming the pounding pain in his mind.
Mhm.
All right. Okay. Trying to find his center. Mm-hmm.
The GM the GM decides how his help works. Eat action. Can I maybe just paste this and we can try to see how it works here?
Decides how your help works using the following examples. The action to help might require a skill check or another roll to determine its effect. Reduce the DC of the flat check to 10 for particularly appropriate type of help, such as dousing you in water. I'd say it's a plus one for doing what you described, because it's just it's a mental pain. It's really hard to do
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
that that significantly improves your chances. So I
Okay.
think a plus one from that using that action, and the plus two from the soothe effect.
Okay, so that was 2 actions to try and overcome that, leaving him with 1 action which he's going to use to try to swat this annoying little doll creature
Mm-hmm.
and miss.
All right.
And it's time to end the turn.
Here
Oof,
we are. That
that is a lot of damage.
hang of pain, and then the recovery check. Come on. There it is. Okay. So finally, the pain lifts, your vision clears somewhat. Oops. And Mr. B comes up, targets you, tries to attack you with its tiny little arms. Hits. 6 points of damage.
Shit.
And he drops Ottardo. Let me check.
You didn't have your shield ready? You couldn't like shield block, dodge, anything?
No, he did because he spent 2 actions to
Yeah.
try and focus, and then 1 action attacking, so he didn't have any left for
Okay, so he goes
for
down.
his energy. Okay, so
Uh,
when you are wounded and you go to dying.
Okay, so
Okay,
as Ottardo goes down from that little like slap of the wing, the creature needs to flutter back to keep its balance and to try to stay in the air, because it has to use a fly action to at least hover. And it's kind of moved backwards from Ottardo and realizes that its shiny is hovering over there in the air, and then spends its third action starting over there. And that's it. So then it's Suma's turn. Around
Get
here.
the shiny, Souma! I'll get Ottardo!
Mm-hmm. Well, I think in this case, does he grab the shiny or he doesn't have the action?
It hasn't had the action yet to do that.
Well, in that case, I will move it out of his reach to the other side of the room.
Yeah, right. And as you do that, it cocks its head and its painted eye focuses on you. It
But I
can't make an
will-
expression, but you do get a sense of its frustration and anger directed at you.
I will move it. Move to inspire courage, and with my last action, I will unsheath the poor bastard.
Oh, that's the okay. I'm like, what? Okay, Lucca.
Lucca has a wand of heal. Now seems like an appropriate time to use it. So I'm going to cast heal from it, the 2-action version, which I believe lets me do it on a target within 30 feet and increase the hit points restored by 8. So
All right.
he very carefully grips the wand, holding it as far away from him as he can as he waves it around. and rolls a d8 plus 8.
Let's see if that heal.
And it's actually quite difficult for me to cast since it's not on my sheet, but I think this will do it. Oh!
Ooh.
There you go.
16 points of healing for Ottardo.
Full healing.
He should be at. He's at wounded 3 now, right?
Wounded 2.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how deep in dying you
Oh,
are.
okay. Still not good. Still really bad. Lucca's gonna call out. We either get it now or we don't get it at all. And he's going to. He has the third action, which I don't really think he can use for much. He can't demoralize this thing. He can't attack it with one action left. So, what kind of bonuses does Lucca have to dealing with his saves right now? Well, like what bonus types?
Well, you have the Inspire Courage, which is status bonus.
Do you mean Ottardo? What kind of bonuses Ottardo has?
Sorry, I meant Ottardo. Yeah.
The Inspire Courage, I believe. He still has the Soothe against mental effects.
Is that also status?
Where is it? Where
No.
do I have it?
Oh, it is.
It is status, yes.
Damn. Okay. No, never mind. This wouldn't help anyway. It doesn't even apply to saving throws. Okay. Never mind. He's just gonna strongly encourage everyone to shit or get off the pot, and that's it.
All right. Well, Arthur is considering that, and trying to devise a stratagem using his crossbow. So I'm just gonna pretend that I was holding a crossbow in my hand. And he knows. Wait, is that +5? Yeah, it would be +5. So he knows it's not gonna hit, which means he's not gonna waste his action on that. And I don't know. He says, "Let's try to get it out here. The problem are all those shards." And then he moves over here. Ottardo.
Ottardo comes back too again. I guess he'll scramble for his weapon and shield. That's 2 actions. Leaving him with just 1 action to stand up.
Oh man. Okay, so where did Souma put the shiny now? Where did she send it? Over there.
Yes, well, now I can see that this was the wrong idea, but...
Yeah. Because the doll flutters over there and then grabs the shiny, and then as a third action moves it over here and gently drops it onto the display case, and then turns around again. Souma.
Well, now I have only my my rapier in my hands, so I guess it will be. We'll have to do. I try to use tilting projectile on this thing. Oh no! Wait, it said it released, so I will try to still maintain my.
No, you would have to recast it.
Okay, yes.
The spell fizzles when the object becomes.
One of my hands is still free, so I will just cast the mage hand with my normal spellcasting. Grab this, lift it up, and well, my last action I,
Can't you sustain in the same round? Does anything say you cannot sustain in the same round?
As
Because
what?
as casting the spell that you're sustaining?
okay, then I will move it about 20 feet, right? What
So
about
you
you?
move. Yep. All right, and then it's Lucca's turn.
So he sees the thing is what, hovering 20 feet away now?
No, it's 10 feet away from Souma. Yeah, 20 feet from you.
Feet away.
It's right next to Ottardo.
Right next to Ottardo.
Mm.
He's gonna shout out, Ottardo, grab the thing and let's be done with this. And he's gonna rush up here. As a reminder, you can move freely through allies' spaces. There's no impediment to movement. And he's going to ready an action to close this door.
All right. Tour says, "Are we sure it can't use door handles?"
It doesn't even have hands.
True. And then he moves over there and devises a stratagem, considering shooting and crossbow at it. Target acquired. And then considering shooting crossbow, but
Oh my god.
thinking that he's not gonna do that. Oh, that every time that costs him a bolt, so I should. That's really annoying.
No wonder he's run out of.
Yeah, exactly. That was action 2, and then action 3 is. I don't know. Action 3 is. I think action 3 is just waiting for his friends to deal with this. Ottardo.
So the thingy is floating
Within
within reach.
Yeah.
How is he going to do this?
Throw your sword through the door, grab the telescope, and run.
Yeah, there's some action Jenga to be done here.
Use the broadside of your use the broadside of your sword and just bat it in.
I think if it's, well, he's a bit afraid of damaging it.
Yeah. It is a very, like, just to make sure that we're clear, it seems like a pretty fragile object.
Okay, yeah. What is he gonna do? He doesn't want to let go of his shield. Who's going after him? Oh, the creature is.
It is, yeah. It's up to
Wow.
you.
I'm trying to think here. So it's just floating, or I guess as soon as he touches it,
Yep.
Soma's spell
Fizzles.
fizzles, and it's okay. It would no longer be floating.
Right.
Either that or you gotta stop the thing from getting to it somehow for a round.
Yeah. Let's see. So if he okay, I think he's going to sheath the Morning Star. That's one action. He is going to grab the shiny. That's second action.
Mm-hmm.
And last action, he's going to raise his shield.
All right. You see the doll like frantically flapping its wings as you grab the shiny. Again, it is unable to show expressions, but still, like through its body language, you can tell that it's furious, and it comes right at you. You've never been so scared of something so tiny. And the tiny little doll flutters into your space with its second move action. It took 2 actions to do that, and then strikes you with its tiny little wings.
Bastard!
And it does 16 points of damage as it just the sheer force. It's kind of using itself as a projectile and just boom hits you right on an exposed part of your skull.
Well, he's going to use his shield block on that.
All right.
Yes.
Absorbs 5. 11 get through. Does that break your shield?
It does.
So the thing just slams against your shield. You kind of like you take the brunt of the force. Your arm, you almost feel like it dislocates your shoulder or something, and the shield cracks. All because of this tiny little doll, and it's shiny. That was its third action, and then it's Soma's turn.
Well, I guess time to inspiring courage has passed, so it's time to inspire courage with this. I will just try to hit it with my sword.
Go for it. You hit it.
Yes.
You deal damage to it.
Hmm?
And it takes some damage.
Yes.
Finally.
Some.
Yeah.
Is it resisting this? Does it
No,
look like-
No.
It's not. It's not. Yeah.
No, I just suck at this.
It does seem to be susceptible to this kind of damage. That was action 1.
Yes, and I will try this again.
That's a miss.
Yeah, and again saying, Ottardo, go! I will hold it out. No.
And you crit miss. Alright, encouraged by the first hit, you strike 2 more times, but it's just too tiny and it's hard to connect. Lucca.
Shakes his head that this is still going on. He's going to shut the door between him and Ottardo. And he's going to ready his last 2 actions to ready to shut the other one once Ottardo is through.
Alright. To his turn, he's strategizing. Whoops,
Actually,
yeah.
deliberately, I think he would probably do it the other way. He'd probably do it like that.
Okay. Otto thinks about fire crossbow bolt, but then thinks better of it. And still has 2 actions left, but doesn't really know what to do with them. So he has 2 actions left. But if he readies an action, well, I guess he can ready an action. No, it's not. His next attack would use this, right? That's how that strategy. Let me see if the readied action would also use this attack. You make this actually. You must use the. If you strike the chosen creature later this round, yeah, so that includes readied actions.
Ottardo, he's got real. Artur has real decision paralysis.
He does. It's just like. It's really not a good opening for him. Ottardo.
Ottardo is tempted to threaten the creature with smashing it with the shiny, but he's not gonna do that. Can we say that he stashes the shiny somewhere on him?
Sure. Yep. That's okay.
Alright, so like 1 action to stash it.
Yep.
Next action to draw again his Morning Star.
Mm-hmm.
And then he is going to step through the door.
Okay, that triggers Lucca's ready action to shut the door. And then the next moment you hear like boom, slam as the little doll obviously like slams into the door. Lucca, you feel it like hit pretty hard, as we've seen. That tiny little thing packs a punch. And you're having a hard time keeping the little door shut. Zuma.
Can realistically probably break the door down. Oh my god, yeah.
Yep. Well, with this thing, I guess it's I did my part, so I will sheath my my rapier. I will expose my conjured flute advantage to this point, so I will pull out my backup flute and will inspire courage.
Okay. Any other actions you can take?
That's all 3 actions.
Okay. Alright. Let's inspire courage for Ottardo, and then it's its turn, and he readies an action with his crossbow because he sees that the doors are still not a guarantee that that thing might not break through. Ottardo, your turn.
This is the last round that magic weapon lasts.
Okay. Oh well. So Arthur has the crossbow in hand.
Yes.
Okay. I guess first he's going to drop his shield because it's useless now. Then he's going to ready an action with his 2 remaining acts to smash the creature if it comes into view.
Okay. Lucca.
Do I need to use an action to like brace the door or anything? Or is it just shut on its own?
I mean, it is closed. It's shut. It's just not locked or anything. Using the handle, you could open it. But as you said, it doesn't seem like it could operate something like that very well.
He is going to... He can't ready. He can't ready a spell.
Unless it's a 1-action spell.
Right, yeah.
You would have to delay.
But then it would take its whole turn after, yeah.
Yeah.
He's maybe this is going to be useless, maybe it won't, but better to have it on hand. He's going to... How high are the ceilings in this area?
This is a little higher than normal. How specific do you need it to be?
I need to know if it's beyond the reach of a creature on the ground or not. The ceiling.
Yeah, just barely.
Okay. He's gonna summon another eagle.
Okay. Can you move it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Smoky-winged, fiery-eyed, pointy-horned eagle.
Okay.
He's gonna... Yeah, that right there is fine. That's fine. It's just gonna be flapping in the air.
Okay.
Up towards the ceiling.
Beyond the door, you can hear the little doll's warbling screams as it's just in rage and fury. It's like driven mad almost by this and it's hammering against the door, trying to force it open. But no, it doesn't seem like it has any realistic chance that it might get those doors open. Souma, oh, actually it has more action, so it can do that one more time, and one more time. Yeah, there's some feeble attempts. You see the door like slightly jiggle, and rattle, but it's not like the first time when it threw itself against it. Souma.
Well, I guess we'll just now help Lucca to hold it because, well, he's definitely heavier than Lucca, and he will yell at Ottardo. Well, take the spyglass to that glowing motherfucker. Like, let him choke at it.
So what are your actions?
That's it. I'm holding the door.
Okay. Hold the door. Arthur, his crossbow in hand, grinds his teeth, waits for his moment. Ottardo, badly injured as you are.
I guess he's going to make do as told and take 2 moves
Mm-hmm.
to get back to the study
Mm-hmm.
and hold the shiny up.
Mm-hmm. Just like that, you just hold it up.
Yeah.
Alright. Lucca, your turn.
Let's see. I need to sustain this spell. But so if I understand this correctly, that I need to spend 1 action to sustain the spell and a 2nd action to command it?
No, no, the one that the action for sustaining counts as the one for commanding, I think.
That would make sense. But where is it? Against the alignment. For any day, spell increases the next one. It doesn't say anything about the commanding. Am I missing
Yeah,
something?
unless that's a general. There might be a general rule for summoned creatures somewhere.
Yeah, but I'm sure that the sustained action means that it is the that tells it what to do.
Okay. Lucca's gonna say, when that thing comes through, just kill it. And he's going to leave.
It's in the minion trait.
Right, minion.
For a minion that's a spell or magic item, like a summoned minion, you sustain a spell or sustain an activation.
Okay.
Yes, he is backing off. The 25 feet. He's gonna get. I guess he's gonna go through into the other door.
Okay.
He has 1 more action still. Oh, there's 2 open doors here. So once again, he is just going to shut one of the doors.
All right. You continue to hear some rattling from the doors. 2 just frantically keeps trying to force it open, but successfully. Souma, you get the sense that if that's the best they can do, it's probably going to take it a while to make it out of here.
Yeah, so in this case, I will continue doing the fire courage on my flute, and once I finished it, I will clench the flute in her teeth and draw the rapier again. And as the final action, She will move back into the room.
All right. Then it's Macho's turn, and he moves, walking slowly backwards, his crossbow pointed at the doors that are still rattling. He follows the rest of the group, shutting the door behind him. And I think we can end the encounter here for now. Because, like I said, you'd probably still hear the rattling on the door and the hacking sound, kind of almost like a woodpecker, although it is wood on wood, the sound that you hear. But you feel like it's going to take it a long time to get after you. All right, so Ottardo, you stand there with the shiny lifted up, and the rest of your group quickly follows suit and gangs up in the room, and then the lights reappear under the ceiling, and you hear that booming voice again that emanates from it, and it says, "You brought the shiny. You stayed true to your word. Set it down on the table, please. I must have it."
Ottardo puts it down.
You put it down on the table.
Yep.
This thing cost us dearly, spirit. We paid for it in blood, lots of blood. Oh, Mr. Ottardo, can you replenish it for him?
That is not something that Spooky. What did I say? Spooky Wisp can do. No. Please, leave me with the shiny, please. The shiny.
Or we can go back and open those doors.
No need to do that. The lights continue to flicker. I'm grateful. Spooky Wisp is grateful. But, tit for tat. I'll tell you what I know. I'll tell you everything I know about this place.
We're listening.
Well, where to begin? Well, first, this building used to belong to someone named Volok Asrene. And what else? Oh,
When you say this building, you mean this one or the large one?
This one, just this one.
Okay.
Because he was just an apprentice to someone else, and the person was called Belcora. Belcora, yes, and what else? It seemed that Volok was pretty mean and dangerous, but Belcora must have been much worse. And oh yeah, and the spooky magic lighthouse can do more than just shine an eerie light. It can shoot a beam full of ghosts. Yes.
What?
It can shoot a beam full of ghosts.
I knew it. Yeah.
Yes.
Will be ghosts.
That's all I know. So you please leave me with the shiny now. Please.
Well, you can come and take the shiny.
It's okay. I just want to have it. It's fine.
Well, you can come and have it.
And then the lights float over to the shiny, and they lower and they dance around the shiny, and it says, yeah, shiny.
Oh, great and self-absorbed spirit. You haven't happened to have seen any dwarves around here, have you?
Nope. No dwarves. Not that I would know. Nope. Nope.
Can we look at the books now? Without you peering over my shoulder all ghostily.
Maybe could you all just turn around for a second?
You're not going to attempt to spook us, are you?
No. Just look towards the doors, please.
Ugh. Turn my back on him.
All right. Does anybody else do that?
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay. So you see the flickering lights with their shine even against the door that you're looking at, turning your back towards it. And then you hear some rustling, like, you know, like the books are getting disturbed by something. And then you hear something that almost sounds like little footsteps. And a slowly fainting as whatever it was leaves the room and runs off with the shiny. You turn back around, and it's gone. The light is gone. The voice is gone, and so is the shiny. Well, strange ghost, if you ask me, says Ottardo. I was suspecting something all along.
And now we know why we should never listen to the lights in the desert, in the swamp.
Well, I guess we learned a couple of names.
Yes. Indeed.
Ottardo is going to suggest that maybe we go back out to the main keep and rest up for a little while.
Yeah,
But what about the books?
We can come back for the books as soon as I'm no longer bleeding and retching, or you can pick up a couple along with you if you want.
What if that bird thing comes back?
Yeah, the bird thing is now not our problem anymore.
Well, but then we might not be able to get to the books.
Well, I think if we just go and rest just for half an hour, we can come back and finish off the bird.
Lucca kind of...
I just need to fix up my shield and patch myself up a little bit, and I think we should be able to deal with it.
That's more than fair. Let's go.
The mask reveals nothing, but Lucca bends down and begins gathering up the books, as many as he can fit in his arms.
As you grab them, you notice that most of them are just kind of like they're either falling apart as you pick them up, just from the moisture here in the swamp, or they're super moldy and basically indecipherable. You try to get some that are at least somewhat intelligible still, but yeah, the vast majority of them are just rotten. Okay. Grab as much as give me a perception check. It looks just like a giant pile of rotten, moldy books. You find one or two covers that are still like mostly intact. And that makes it even more unfortunate that the books are so horribly rotten, because the titles of the book, that as far as you can read them, promise some sort of arcane writing, and some of them are on more worldly things like lens crafting and proper proper techniques to deal with glass. But yeah,
As he sees all of this, his spirit is broken a little bit, and he just lets his arms fall to his sides, and all the books that were in there just tumble out of them as he stands up, and he says, "I should have known to expect less than nothing from a disembodied spirit." Right.
I want to check some other places before we go, like this else table.
yeah, it's all the same idea basically. It's all rotten and moldy and just in terrible shape. All right, so you retreat towards the main keep, and decide to rest for a little bit. So I think that'll be a good point for us to call it a session for today.
All right.
I will have some XP for you though.
Ooh.
So you have managed to obtain the shiny for the mighty spooky wisp, which means you get some XP for that. Wow. That's a whooping 40 XP for each one of you. All right, halfway there.